So who remembers Arsenal's FA Youth Cup win over Coventry in May 2000? Of course you don't, but sure, let's take a look at that starting 11 from the second leg of that final. Yes, I know, two-legged finals, good lord. Graham Stack. We all remember Graham Stack, the man who made 5 League Cup appearances for Arsenal during the 03-04 season. He's hopped around more clubs with the desperation of Peter Odemwingie on deadline day, turning up with 12 different teams hoping to get a game. The only ones who'd given the time of day were Hibernian, Barnet in the conference, and Eastleigh, so I think that just sums up his level. Anyways, the current head of academy goalkeeping at Watford, where he is no doubt imparting his 2 decades of wisdom on which club has the most comfortable bench. Moritz Volz. A lot of people will remember Moritz Volz from his 5 years at Fulham, but I'll bet at least half of you forgot he came through at Highbury. The German right back signed for the Cottagers in 2004, where he played over 100 times and even scored the 15,000th goal in Premier League history at Stamford Bridge. Anyway, he retired in 2015 at the age of 32 with TSV 1860 Munich. He's now Arsenal's main German scout. Liam Chilvers. I know what you're thinking. Who? Again, this is another lad who never made it. To be fair, how daunting must it have been trying to crack into this invincible side. Still, I can't imagine the young centre-half envisaged his career sliding down the table quite so fast. He ended up playing for the likes of Colchester, Preston, Notts County, Telford United, Port Vale, before finally retiring at Hyde in 2014, again at the age of 32. Do you know what he's doing now? He's working at a law office down in Southport. John Halls. No, not the fellow who sold Newcastle to Mike Ashley. This is John Halls, a man who made 3 League Cup appearances for Arsenal before being spat out to Stoke in 2003. He lasted 3 years there before taking in short spells at Reading, Brentford, Aldershot Town, before finally packing it in at the age of 30 at Wycombe Wanderers. Where he once probably dreamed of emulating Tony Adams, he couldn't be further away from that. The man is working as a male model. Nicolo Galli. Whereas with the likes of Halls, Chilver and Stack, we can sort of point at them and say they turned out terrible. Nicola Galli didn't. But nor did he turn out good. The poor lad wasn't given an opportunity. The Italian left back was dead before he even turned 18. He'd signed with Arsenal in 1999 as a teenager, won the Youth Cup in 2000, before returning to Italy to finish his studies. It was a 2000-2001 season, and Arsenal had chucked him on loan to Bologna, and he was actually getting some games in Serie A as a 17-year-old and was regarded as one of the most promising young left-backs on the planet. But in February 2001, Galli was killed in a road accident. Arsene Wenger has since said, "I have no doubt in my mind that had he lived, he would have been captain of Arsenal and of Italy." Bologna immediately retired his number 27 shirt, named the training centre after him, and Fabio Quagliari has worn number 27 ever since, purely to honour his friend. Rowan Ricketts. And now back to the god-awful journeyman. Rowan Ricketts was another. He made just 1 appearance for the Gunners before deciding to flick the V's at the club who made him, signing for Tottenham in 2002. The man no doubt spent the next 3 years getting booed in the street. Spurs got rid of him in 2005 and off he went to Wolves, but ever since then it's been a downward spiral. Jetting around Canada, the US, Hungary, Moldova, Germany, Ireland, India, Ecuador, Thailand, Hong Kong and Bangladesh. At the age of 35 he's still going, playing for Masters Football in Ontario. To put into context how obscure they are, the club don't even have a Wikipedia page. David Noble. Big things were expected of David Noble back at the start of the millennium. Within 4 years he was playing for Boston United in the 6th tier of English football. His career has been predominantly spent in Leagues 1 and 2, although now he's firmly wedged in the conference with St Albans City. Steve Sidwell. Usually Steve Sidwell would be a walking joke in a list such as this, but no, in this team the man's career looks like that of a superstar compared to the lads that ended up as male models or stuck out in Canada. He went on to star for Reading in the Premier League, signed for Chelsea on a freebie during that summer when the club seemed to forget that they'd actually been bought by a mega rich Russian some years earlier, and stuck around in the top flight with Aston Villa, Fulham, Stoke and Brighton, where he's just after retiring. Jermaine Pennant. In 1999 Jermaine Pennant became the most expensive teenager in Britain when Arsenal paid Notts County $2 million for the pleasure, from getting relegated at Birmingham with a jail tag stuck to his ankle after he tried to get out of drink driving by telling the police he was Ashley Cole, to appearing in a Champions League final a year later. It was just bizarre.
When is Jermaine Pennant ever going to be in a team that wins the Premier League and wins the Champions League? Never.
Then 2 years after that, he left a forgotten Porsche in Spain from his failed season with Real Zaragoza. Then there was the 3 years at Stoke City. Oh, let's not forget his come and get me plea to the Republic of Ireland as soon as we came within a sniff of the World Cup. Yeah, where was all that when we were getting battered 5-2 off Cyprus, Jermaine? At the age of 35, his most recent club was Billericay Town, and you could find him and his missus squabbling about nothing at Jeremy Kyle these days, which just confuses me because the man has far too many teeth in his head to appear on that show. Jay Bothroyd. Right, so I can sit here and say Jay Bothroyd was a god-awful player. He will turn around and say, "I played for England." Yes, you did, Jay, but I'm pretty sure Fabio Capello was having a midlife crisis when he picked you. Bothroyd left Arsenal in 2000, signing for Coventry, before ending up at Perugia in 2003. Then he spent the next few years looking about as threatening as a sticky lamppost for numerous championship clubs, until he suddenly scores 41 goals for Cardiff and gets chucked into the England team in November 2010. But just like with David Nugent, everyone quickly realised it was a massive mistake and never invited him again. At the age of 36, the former QPR flop is currently banging them in for Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo, alongside another former gunner, Junichi Inamoto, out of the back arse of Japan. Graham Barrett. Dublin's finest, Graham Barrett, was supposed to be the next big thing. He even made 2 Premier League appearances for the club, scored in his Ireland debut against Finland, but no, his career was just one big massive injury-prone disappointment. It only lasted 12 years, retiring at the age of 29 at Shamrock Rovers, having scored 26 goals in 216 career games. As a striker, to finish your career with less goals than the number of your age, that is pretty pathetic.
You keep hearing people say that Gerrard is one of the greatest players in the world. Another myth